Morning, Roy. Good morning, Lou.
7th of July, Rabbi Furst, Pierke Avos.
Thank you. As you mentioned, this is Rabbi Shlomo Furst. She was summing up. She was showing here Zoom. Our first year this morning, we're now learning Pirkei Avos, the sixth parak, Bryce explaining according to the Maron Mikrad's commentary, Derech Chaim, those psukim, as we have again in the document that I'll put on the ground on the screen. We have 7 psukim according to the Maral Amos Prague's and these 7 psukim, if you see them there, right? You see these 7 psukim, right?
Yes.
So the Maral is about to explain to us. If you see the middle public, right, which we've been learning about, they are the words of Torah. Those words of Torah, they are a wreath of grace upon a person's head and a necklace around one's throat, around your throat. And the Ramah has been explained, these are talking about how the words of Torah give a person grace around the head, specifically on the head, because that's where the focus of the neshama is, in the brain, around the head, and around the throat, the necklace, also because the koach dibur, which is essentially and inevitably connected to the neshama, the koach dibur, the way we can speak, and we have the power to speak, to formulate thoughts, and to enunciate them, pronunciate them, and communicate. That is a function as a result of the neshama that we have been given. So this is the words of Torah, and they give the grace and the wreath of pain for a person. And this is the Maral is going to explain. This fourth pasuk is the middle pasuk of the 7 psukim, 3 first psukim. These first 3 psukim, ki ha'chaim heim lemotzasem, kol barasor merape, refuah siyeh l'rishushecha v'shikui l'motzosecha, eitz chaim Elohim yichnisim ba, v'so mechechem u'shar. These are 3 psukim which are dealing primarily with Chai Olam Hazeh, with Olam Hazeh, the physical material world, and the 3 psukim that follow the pasuk that with this yellow highlighted they are going to represent psukim which deal with Chai Olam Haba, the spiritual ruchnius world that we also participate and live in. So that's what the Maharal is referring to here. If you look now on your screen, you see this paragraph as it is highlighted in red, right? This paragraph that is highlighted in red at this point on your screen. This is a pasuk. He's going to explain now how this pasuk we've been dealing with is in the middle between the first 3 and the last 3. Okay, with that introduction, I think we can begin a bit, if you like. Anyone like to volunteer to read?
I would.
Go ahead, please.
חשוב זה שאבי הוא רביעי והוא בין גימל ראשונים שכולם הם על חיי עולם הזה וגימל אחרונים הם על ידי עולם הבא. So the psukim that come in 4 between 3 the one that comes 4th between 3 all of them are about this world. And three later, all of them are about the world to come. Viha Suk Haravi'i, the fourth one, Kamo Shahu Kamo Emtsa'e Bain Shnehem Udivarim Elu Berurim Me'ad Lifanecha. And the fourth pasuk, it is like the words that are like the middle ones between them, and these things are clear, very clear before you. V'yesh lahavin dvarim elu, and there are those that understand these things.
Okay, very good. Okay, 1 second. Okay, so let's continue. Go ahead on Africa.
V'achar kach hevi od shalo tomar she'ein koach v'torah shetitain chaye olam haba mamash al anishma shehi re'oi al olam haba. And afterwards, the more come that are not speaking about the power of the Torah, that it gives life in this world. Actually, the neshama is not fitting for this world. Ulefichach hevi od chara titain the roshcha levias chen ateres tiferes tamgenach. And therefore, it comes further to proclaim that it gives to the head a crown of splendor, I don't know what Tmegincha is.
Oh, that's from the word, the shurish is magain, that it's to protect you. It's a terrace. It's a crown. It's a splendorous crown of protection for you. I think we had that should be this is it should be maybe you will look on your first document. It should maybe you were had written in the meanings of the words over there in the first document. If you remember that first document, that was where we had the 7 psukim delineated over there. It's on your screen now if you remember that document.
Yeah, I remember it. I see. Timagnecha, protection.
Oh, there you are, right, exactly, exactly, very good.
But I was a little confused by the negative language in this pasuk. That it's not Shalo Tomar She'ein Koach B'Torah. What is that? Lo Tomar does not. It does not say that it is not.
Okay, well, so one second. So, Achikak Havia Od. There's another pasuk which is brought, right? Meaning after we brought this first of the transition of it's this first pasuk of the meaning the fourth pasuk is a transitional pasuk from the benefits and values of Torah for the neshama and the goof in Olam Hazeh. Those were the first three psukim. Then the fourth pasuk is brought as a transitional pasuk that is relevant to the transition of the benefits of Olam Hazeh to the benefits of Olam Haba. And then there's a fourth pasuk. Now the fifth pasuk is that which is the fifth pasuk. So now that fifth pasuk, od. And afterward, there's another pasuk brought. Another pasuk is brought. Now the question is, why do you bring another pasuk? Right? You bring one pasuk. That was one of the original questions that the Maharal asked. Usually, one pasuk is enough of a proof for the things you want to prove. You don't know, and here we have 7 psukim coming to prove the same thing. Apparently, that's what the Maharal has been teaching us. That these things are very subtle and different things which we benefit from the words of Torah, both in Olam Hazeh and Olam Haba. And the question is now, so why do we need the fifth pasuk, right? Why do we need the fifth pasuk? So the fifth pasuk is being brought, right? And afterward is brought another one, a fifth pasuk. Why? Shelo Tomer, you should not say. You should not say. Shelo Tomer, you should not say. Shein korach b'Torah shetitein chai olam haba mamish el neshama. You should not say. Don't think that there's no power in the Torah that it should give everlasting life, mamish, to the neshama, shiroi lola, which is something which is fit to be in olam haba. Don't think to say that there is no power in Torah that can bring everlasting life to the neshama in olam haba. Don't think to say that.
Okay, I got it.
Lafika, yeah, Lafika Chavia, that is the reason why it's being brought. This fifth pasuk, which is apparently superfluous. This fifth pasuk is brought, so you shouldn't say the following. You might think that the Torah has very beneficial powers, but maybe it does not have the power to actually bring and give everlasting life in Olam Haba to the neshama. Maybe you would think that. Now, the question is, why would you think that? That's another question, which we're going to hopefully deal with as well.
מפני כך, יש לך להבין בוודאי שבא להודיע היא התורה תיתן אס הנשמה האלוקי האלוקיס שהיא בראש. Because therefore, or because of this, there is for you to understand that certainly you should come to know that since the Torah gives to the soul, what is this word? Ha'elokis?
That's uh, a word that um, is referencing to Hakadosh Baruch Hu, that that the Hanashama Elokis, the divine soul, right? Elokis is referring to the divineness of the soul.
Ah, that it is
Elokis.
the head. It is in the head. Because the Torah gives to the soul, the divine soul that is in the head. I'm lost.
Okay, so let's back up to the beginning here. The fikach here. The fikach havia od kra. Now, therefore, the pasuk is brought another pasuk. Titain l'rosh galibos ateres tiferet mitzagnecha. Therefore, it's brought this pasuk that it's brought. It's going to be for your head livius chen. Going to bring for your head a wreath of grace, a teres tiferet, a splendorous crown of protection for you. Because of hazeh, and this pasuk, lo dibor anakim digrusecha. It's not referring to the anakim of a necklace for your throat. It's not referring to the necklace of your for your throat. Rak zecher. It's talking about a mentioning of titain l'rishecha lirvaschein bilvad. In it, meaning contrast. Okay, go back. Let's take a look. Take a look at your screen for a moment. Okay, you have the pasuk in yellow highlight, right?
Right.
That was the previous pasuk. The previous pasuk referred to, right, both, right, Lilvus Chen Roshecha, number one, Va'anakim Ligarosecha, two things, correct?
Yes.
Yes. Anyone hearing me? Do people hear me?
Yes, correct.
Okay. Now, tell me, you compare these two psukim. I want you to compare the pasuk that's in yellow and the pasuk that is in red. Compare the two. Go ahead. Anybody, Roy, Mayor, Lou, anybody can do that. First come, first serve.
Okay, so I'll take a crack at it. The fourth one says that the Torah is an ornament of grace for the head and a chain for the neck.
All right.
Somehow that is a transitional pasuk. So maybe one of those phrases is referring to this world, and one of those phrases is referring to the world to come.
Okay. Well, and so you can understand it as the Maharal has been explaining to us. The Roshika is a reference to the neshama, and the neshama is clearly something which is rooted in Olam Haba, the next world, spiritual world, and Gogrosecha, your neck. Obviously, your neck is something which is limited to Olam Hazeh, meaning if as the Maharal taught us, it's referring to the power of speech. So true, very true. Speech is something which a person enjoys and can do good things with when he's in the physical form of a body, right?
Right.
And that doesn't exist when he's in the spiritual mode, right?
Right.
So that's the transition. This fourth pasuk that's in yellow highlight, that's the pasuk which has a specific point mentioned for the neshama and a specific point mentioned for the goof, right? And therefore, that's a transitional pasuk which includes elements of both olam hazeh and olam haba. Now, the following pasuk that's in red highlight. So go ahead. Let's have an analysis of that.
But just one comment on the fourth pasuk, and that is it's out of order, because the first three pasukim are this world, and then the next three world to come, but this pasuk does the world to come first.
Right. Right.
Seems a
Okay, that
question.
yeah, that's a good point. I would just it crossed my mind this point as well. I thought to myself that to explain it as follows, that perhaps even though the transition is going from Gashmias to Ruchnias, so you would expect that the first part of this transitional pasuk should be talking about Gashmias to include the transition from Gashmias to Ruchnias in its particular order, right? But on the other hand, since the neshama is obviously more chashuv, more significant than the goof, so perhaps we wanted to write in the pasuk about the neshama first, because to give it and point out its inherent significance over the goof.
I see.
That's why, yeah, that's why we might be able to explain why it seems to be out of order.
Okay, I see that. Okay, so the next pasuk is Vayomer Titain L'Roshcha L'Vias Chen Ateris Tiferes Timagnecha. So it says it gives to the head, to your head, a wreath of grace, a crown of splendor, a crown of splendorous protection. So this is just focusing on the head, which we said was
Right.
the neshama, which was the spiritual, the world to come.
Very good. That's exactly the point. If you look at this pasuk, this makes no mention of any physical bodily references. It's beginning the transition to that of the neshama. So now take a look here back at our second argument. So kasav hazeh, that's what I see over there. Kasav hazeh, lo dibar. Go ahead.
Let's see. Mikasuv Hazeh Lo Dibar the Anakim the Gargurosecha Rak Zachar Hitain Lerosh Cha Levias Chen Bilvad. So this pasuk does not speak the Anakim, the Anakim. I forgot what that is.
That's about the necklace, nakim the necklace around your neck.
Necklace.
That's in the fourth pasuk. Refer back to the fourth pasuk. The fourth pasuk, right? Fourth back to it's a part. That's what was recorded there in the fourth pasuk.
Oh, right. The necklace around the neck, the chain or the necklace.
Right.
Only to remember that it gives to the head a wreath of splendor, a wreath of grace alone.
Right. So therefore, that's what he's saying here. It says the pasuk, this fifth pasuk, does not mention about the anakim gigrosecha. Doesn't mention anything about the necklace with the throat, right? Which is in reference to the physical. It only mentions about the giving for your head a grace, a wreath of grace alone, which is clearly a reference only to the spiritual, to the neshama.
Right. Okay, and that's what we just said.
Right. That's right.
Umidnei kach, and because of this, yesh lecha lahavin bivadai sheba lahodia hi haTorah titen al haneshama
I'm in the middle of the shiur.
ha'elo kais shehi barosh. Because of this, there is for you to understand that certainly it comes to inform us that the Torah is given to the neshama, to the divine neshama that is in the head.
Oh, so that's the point here, right? That you have to because of this, there is for you to understand. Therefore, it's for you. It's coming to you to understand that that definitely it's the Torah is giving a grace to the neshama, the divine neshama, right, which is in the head. Kishut, recovered, and the livos chen, which is a ornament, recovered, and it's a glory, splendor. Nivdal, which is unique. Zechar el olam haba mamish, and through this, a person is privileged to olam haba mamish.
Because of this, this is the fact that the neshama is in the head.
Right. So therefore, this pasuk is exclusively only referring to the head, which is symbolically representative of a benefit that is being accrued to the neshama, right? So this pasuk is therefore symbolically representing the benefit, the eternal benefit of Chai Olam Haba, life in the next world, that the neshama receives through the learning of Torah. Is that understood? That's pretty clear. Mayor Roy Lou, that's pretty clear. It's being indicated here.
I think so.
Yeah, me too.
Good. Okay. Great. Very good.
Okay.
Okay.
Ode,
So,
Doctor. The ode ki b'kasuv hazeh mosif ode lomar ateres tiferes to magnecha v'davar zeh mora al ha al mi alas olam haba. And furthermore, since the pasuk, this pasuk adds more to say a crown of splendor, a crown of splendorous protection, and a thing, and this thing is Mora. It teaches us al me alas olam haba. It teaches us concerning ascending to the world to come. Ma'alas is to ascend.
Milus is like to be elevated to it is in this aspect, right? That the here, one second. It means it means the virtue of the uniqueness, the virtue of Olam Haba. Darbezeh mora al mora miles Olam Haba. It says the pasuk Mosif. It says Lomar teres tiferes mitagnecha. It's going to be a splendorous crown for your protection. This is something which is indicating mora. This indicates Zemora. This indicates Al Milas Olam. This indicates the virtue of Olam Haba.
Ukavar, his Ba'ar, Zeh, V'divrei Chachamim, Uva'ar Nu, Oso, Lamala, Ma She Amru, V'miskas, Brachos, Perech, Haye Korah. So, and afterwards, we explained this with words of wisdom, with the words of the sages, and they explained this to raise up that which is said in Maseches Brachos, Perech, Haye Korah is the name of the book, I guess.
Masha Omer b'Mesechtes Brachos bePerek Haye Korah. That's I think the second or third parak in Brachos. Yeah.
Perech, right? The Perech. Okay. So what did I just say? Afterwards, the Chachamim explained this in Brachos.
Okay, so good. It's we just the morale just said that this pasuk is Moira al Milas Olam Haba. It's indicating the virtue of Olam Haba. And this point has been already elaborated upon in the words of Chazal. When we've already explained this previously, that which is mentioned in Masechtes Brachos as follows.
Olam Haba ein bo achila ushtia rak tzadikim yoshvim ve'atrotehem.
Atrosehem.
Say hold on a second.
Okay, I'm gonna be going. We will go on to the lunch.
Yes.
Okay, the target in that seems like it's step. It's not much.
Okay. I'll check it.
That's
Thank
the
you.
pasuk. That's the pasuk which is explained there in the Gemara in Brachos. right? The people make a mistake. People think there's going to be eating and sleeping and drinking, all these things in Olam, but then nothing, none of that. That doesn't exist in Olam Haba, right? That's why it's so hard for us to understand what Olam Haba is all about, because the only things we really relate to, because we're always doing it, is eating and sleeping, drinking, right? So, but Olam Haba is nothing like that, right?
So it's only the tzaddikim who are sitting, and what is this word? V'atrosaihem?
Right, it's from the word keter, the atrosem, the crowns, on the glorious crowns of him.
They're sitting with crowns in their heads.
Right, they're sitting in the with glory and with the gloriousness of the head.
And this itself is what we say here, a crown of splendor and protection. So when we say a teres tiferes, we're talking about Olam Haba. Correct?
Okay,
When we say a teres tiferes, we're talking about Olam Haba.
that's right. That's exactly that's what the pasuk is. How do we know, right? As the Gemara in Bracha says, Olam Haba, and Olam in the next world, Ein bo achila v'shtia, there's no eating or drinking. Rak, what is the only thing Olam Haba is tzaddikim yoshim, the tzaddikim are sitting there, atrosehem, baroshehem, and their crowns are on their heads. B'zeh atzmo she'amar kana teres tiferes tignech, and this is exactly what's being said over here. A teres tiferes tignech, the splendor's crown is your protection. And that's what it's referring to as the tzaddikim are sitting there in Olam Haba, and there's no eating and drinking. I mean, again, all these words are only being used in context of helping us understand what it somewhat can be like, but it's no approximation of what's actually going on there. Right?
Well, why do we need protection?
Tell me, will you tell me why is no eating or drinking in Olam Haba?
But there's no digestion.
Ah, all right.
No physicality.
No physicality.
Hmm.
Okay, so if there's no physicality, why are they sitting?
And why do they need protection?
Oh, so protection. Okay, protection. They can be spiritual. They can be spiritual dangers and spiritual
Might be
things
attacked.
they have to be.
We're used to sitting and learning rather than standing. Well, some people stand.
Right.
It's,
Right.
We
The
still
whole
have-
point is that
hmm. We still might have feelings. I don't know.
Mhm.
I think we have to have feelings because otherwise we'll approach the learning automatically, like automatons, so without robots, without any emotions, we just translate. We won't understand what we're doing.
Right. Right. Yeah. So it's a bit perplexing that the pasuk has that the Chazal is saying there's no eating and drinking, and but why do you have to use a reference of them sitting? Why can't you just say this tzaddikim are there?
Well, we
Mhm.
only eat and drink in order to live, and we're not exactly alive.
Right.
So we don't need to
And why
eat
do people sit?
because we're used to that position.
Well,
They need to
That-
rest.
maybe.
You know, the fact that they're sitting, they're not lying down and not standing, but they could be lying down also. Why couldn't they be lying down? Why couldn't they be standing? Why couldn't they be flying? Maybe they could fly. Maybe in Olam Haba, maybe the tzaddikim can fly.
Mhm.
There's no eating and drinking. That the tzaddikim are flying all over the place. No, have to be sitting. The fact that the pasuk is the Gemara, the Chazal using an expression that they're sitting, it lends me to believe there is some type of physicality, right? Something to think about. Okay, something to think about. Let's see. Okay, maybe it's a good point to stop here. Yeah. Okay, so we're at the beginning of this next paragraph, Adayin lo via raya. Okay. Good. Good place to stop.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Rabbi.
Right, very good. Okay, well,
Tired, hello.
take a
Right.
Take a
Kodesh
short
Tov,
break.
everybody.
Kodesh
Tov,
Right.
Kodesh.
Everyone should have a good Kodesh, and we'll be starting the next year shortly, Mitzvah Hashem. Okay.